Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking down at midcourt. Lamar Odom for Team USA in blue. Omer Asik wearing white for Turkey. The gold medal at the FIBA World Championship is at stake, and they're off. And Turkey with the opening tip. And it's going to be Kerem Tunçeri, for my money, Turkey's most important player after the heroics of last night against Serbia when he scored that game-winning basket. Asik, guarded by Odom. Asik will play for the Chicago Bulls next season. This will be a good test for him. And good defense for the United States. Derrick Rose into the lane and puts it up and over Omer Asik.
Already the American defense signaling to the Turks they've got to work extra hard to even get a shot away.
Iguodala draws the assignment of Turkoglu. They will know each other from the NBA. Omer Anan drives in and gets the layup, goes right past Kevin Durant, and nobody came over to help. And Derrick Rose goes immediately for the basket and is fouled by Omer Anan.
Well, I'm trying to identify who's been assigned the job of marking Kevin Durant. I think it's Ilyasova. The Americans have had two quick offenses and nothing has been set up really on defense for the Turks yet.
Kevin Durant gets open and does what he does best. He shoots the basketball.
Understandably so, these Turks look so nervous.
Well, Asik drives in and almost has a three-point play opportunity, but he goes to the free throw line, and we all know about Omer Asik and free throws.
First foul, Lamar Odom. Yeah, we had an interesting situation last night when the big guy on the line, Omer Asik, was injured, and his substitute took the foul shots and hit them both. And in a one-point game, that's a crucial little stat.
You can feel the entire country trying to support Asik through this and not make him feel nervous. But it's something that he has to conquer himself. It is amazing how he struggles at the line. He makes one of two. Now Derrick Rose, not a big player last night for the United States, but he's been big for them in this tournament. Kevin Durant gets free, Ilyasova, and shoots from three-point range. And already Kevin Durant is ready to roll.
It's almost as if there are two three-point arcs out there. Durant shoots from NBA distance.
Durant shoots from anywhere. 09 drives in, doesn't need the backboard. Here comes, Odom comes in and lays it up. Iguodala there for the follow. And Turkey not on the boards. And already Tanjevic is up, looking unhappy. On that Turkish bench, Ilyasova. Well,
that's a well-drawn foul.
Ilyasova should not be in awe of the Americans because he plays in the NBA with the Milwaukee Bucks. Kevin Durant picks up his first foul.
Tanjevic is getting very, very animated. And the referee having to work overtime to tell him to calm down.
The referee explaining to Durant why he called the foul. I'm thinking he said he got him with a little bit of body. But the interesting thing was Durant didn't hardly move. He certainly didn't jump.
I think he took the fake, basically. I just wonder whether Ilyasova will continue to go at him.
Well, Ilyasova makes both free throws. Remember, free throws were a real problem for Turkey last night. Iguodala. Phillips, Derrick Rose, Durant. Well, you cannot leave that man open.
Well, Turkey switched to a zone there. I just wonder whether that's a sensible tactic with a man like Durant out there. You've got to stop him getting the ball.
Well, here comes the 9. Drives. Misses badly. Asik keeps it alive, but Odom with the board. And the United States with a 5-point lead. Turkey in the zone. So they are playing the 2-3 zone. And they're telling the Americans they're going to have to beat them from the outside. As long as it's not Durant. I'm sure they'll extend it for him. Country gets free. Turkoglu goes baseline and puts up the shot and draws the foul on Iguodala.
First personal foul in July and team's third.
6-7. Philadelphia 76ers played his college basketball in Arizona.
And not for the first time, the referee having to ask Coach Tanjevich to call it.
Well, I think he's telling the players on the bench to sit down.
Well, theoretically, the coach has a box in which he must stay. But Tanjevich has been up and down that sideline.
Well, that box was nowhere to be found last night at the end of the game. Tyson Chandler going to come into the game.
Well, a little confrontation here between Turkoglu and Durant.
Odom has to come out of the game. He's got a scratch. So Turkoglu, after an awful season with Toronto, I think almost had to come to this FIBA World Championship to kind of restore his reputation a little bit, because there were some things that were said that weren't too kind about Hedo in Toronto. And so far the captain has done a great job of letting everybody see what kind of player he is. He's been great here at the FIBA World Championship. Rose into the corner to Billups. And strong rebound on Ilyasova and up ahead to Onan, who goes in and gets the layup. Nope, he missed it.
He just knew someone was coming to block it.
Billups, the strong chest of Billups goes in and is fouled, I think, by Asik.
Yeah, there's the foul. You've got to get your layups in, Turkey. You don't get many uncontested scores, uncontested shots against the United States. You've got to put the ones that you do get in.
Well, first foul on Asik. And Chauncey Billups makes America's first free throw of the night. The captain, Captain Chauncey. And Billups takes the lead back to 5. Well, we've seen the USA really struggle against Brazil. They escaped with a 2-point win against them. USA in the zone. Turkoglu for 3. Good! We saw them struggle against Russia early on anyway, and there were moments when Lithuania gave them problems. How is this test going to measure up against the other ones?
Interesting defense from Turkey. Every time they score, I think they switch. Ilyasova back with the assignment of Kevin Durant. No, out of bounds now. They've gone back to the zone now.
And Derrick Rose right at the line and had a good shot, but just missed it. I'm not sure Turkey's zone is designed to give that good a shot away. Ilyasova. And good defense from Tyson Chandler, altering the Ilyasova shot. Now Billups. It's a 2-point game right now. The crowd is into it for Turkey. Rose.
Out of bounds.
Kevin Durant caught the ball out of bounds, trying to throw the pass over the zone, and Eric Gordon's going to come in. And you know what that means. He's the zone buster. Derrick Rose checks out.
Yeah, you need a zone buster as long as Turkey don't score, because when they score, I think they go back to a man-to-man. Haven't quite worked out the signal yet. Early stages.
And alley-oop to Asik. not executed well at all. Billups.
Yeah, back in his own now. Didn't score.
Oh, he's way out there, and he misses that one. But Tyson Chandler.
And there's a foul.
The foul on Tyson Chandler. I think he's actually doing a pretty good job down low tonight, Tyson. Watch this. That's right. Difficult to say on that one.
And Coach Krzyzewski straight away in the referee's ear. A little bit of finger pointing as well.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski's team upset by Greece 4 years ago, didn't win the gold. They had to settle for bronze. Turkoglu from the corner. Oh! And Hato put Turkey into the lead with a long three-pointer. And now the Turks are really getting on the Americans. How are they going to respond? They get it to Eric Gordon. It rims out and it's into the hands of Turkoglu, and he is fouled by Tyson Chandler. And Turkoglu has lost it. He's raised his arm and pushed Tyson Chandler. Momentary loss of composure by Hato Turkoglu, and he is extremely lucky. If the referee had seen that, boy, he swung there, and watch him, and then he kind of hit him there. So actually, it was a little bit of afters for both of these players.
Referee's going to foul against both players. No, at the moment, it's only Tyson Chandler. They didn't see what happened after that.
That's an extremely, watch this again. Here it is. Okay, Turkoglu took exception to some contact on the shot when Tyson Chandler was trying to get free.
And we have a foul on Turkoglu as well.
I'd like to see it again. It definitely looked like Tyson Chandler hit Turkoglu. I don't know if he pushed him or if he hit him. I think it was probably more of a push on the Eric Gordon shot.
Well, I think Turkoglu...
That was after, but he took a full swing there. I mean, that has to be a foul called against Turkoglu.
I think Turkoglu took exception to the swinging elbows that missed him. And then he kind of retaliated, or half retaliated.
Well, foul called on Turkoglu, and interesting. Bounce pass to Lamar Odom, and he's denied.
By Turkoglu.
So the foul was called on Turkoglu. It was not on the end on Tyson Chandler. And it goes in, and Essex scores. And it's a three-point game.
Chauncey Billups trying to take some heat out of the situation.
Iguodala. They're going to reset the shot clock.
And Russell Westbrook coming in to replace Iguodala.
So out of all of that, the only person to get punished was Turkoglu for the foul, which, quite honestly, he deserved a foul for what he did, but it did seem like Tyson Chandler got away with something.
I think Tyson Chandler was given a foul as well.
No, well, on the play-by-play here, I'm just looking back and it says he wasn't, but maybe they're going to add it.
Lamar Odom loses it and gets it back.
Turkoglu and this Turkish crowd.
Oh.
Good call by the Italian referee. He is right.
Yeah, the Italian referee right on the spot. Didn't see what happened and looked for his co-official's help and got it.
Watch this. Goes off of Turkoglu's leg right there, and Ilyasova doesn't chase it down in time. Turkey with a three-point lead, and one of the enforcers has come in for the United States, Russell Westbrook. Watch this.
And Turkoglu is hurt. He's limping off. Being replaced by Karim Gonlam. Well, one of the national heroes of Turkey, Hato Turkoglu, on the end of the bench in pain.
And Gunlam is also an enforcer for the United States. Here comes Westbrook. He puts up a three. Maybe not what you want coming right off the bench from Russell Westbrook. Durant for three. Count it! Kevin Durant has an answer.
Yeah, in all the mayhem of double fouls and all the rest of it, Turkey just lost concentration and forgot all about Kevin Durant.
Well, Chandler out of the game, Turkoglu out of the game. It's probably good for both of those guys to cool down, and Russell Westbrook knocks the ball away from Karen Gonlin, who fell asleep.
Number 7, getting one second personal foul. Teams forward.
2 fouls on Omer Anand, and Ender Arslan is going to come into the game and give Karam Country a break.
Chauncey Billups out as well, replaced by Stephen Curry.
Well, Stephen Curry getting some important minutes early on. He's a shooter. Picks up his dribble.
Oh, nearly a 5-second call.
Bounce pass, Westbrook's pass, taken away from Ilyasova, and up ahead to Oden, is swatted by Kevin Durant.
Second layup Turkey have missed.
Well, that one was blocked. Oh, and Curry left open for three, and the substitution works to perfection.
5-point turnaround there, no layup for Turkey, and a 3 for the US, and they go into the lead by 3 now.
Curry guarding Arslan. 6 on the shot clock. Over to Ilyasova. And that shot was affected by Durant. And Gonlin does not get the shot off in time. Tandjevich arguing that Ilyasova got hit on the arm, but look at the block from Durant.
Yeah, before it hit the glass. I'll tell you what, Jeff, I'm looking down at the Turkish bench. I cannot see Turkoglu down there.
No, he's just left to get some type of treatment. Asik out, Onan out, Simi Erden in, as well as Sinan Guler.
Turkey have to hang on now, 1:26 to go in the first. They trail by 3.
And also Rudy Gay is coming in for the Americans. Now Eric Gordon draws baseline and is blocked by Karam Gonlin.
What pressure these referees are under. 10 players asking it to go their way. Plus about 8 coaches.
Curry hands it off to Westbrook, who slips, gets back up. And
Offensive
foul called on Russell Westbrook.
And Russell Westbrook very diplomatically hands the ball back to the official.
And for that is it the hook? He went like...
Well, both teams in the penalty now.
Well, look at the overplaying defense from Eric Gordon, just looking for the steal and the fast break opportunity. Arslan. Gordon is playing some D, and Ilyasova comes over, knocks it away. Now just 5 on the shot clock. The American D is taking over the game. Great defense from Eric Gordon.
And a shot clock violation.
And what did we talk about before the game? Eric Gordon, known most for his three-point shooting, comes out and plays defense like nobody's business. Here's another look at it. And the shot clock expires, and America get the ball back. Timeout, Turkey.
Well, that's the second time the American defense has made Turkey run 24 seconds off the clock and get nothing out of it. Turkey severely handicapped at the moment in the absence of their inspiration, their captain, Hedo Turkoglu. Hedo Turkoglu has just reappeared for Turkey, albeit on the end of the bench, shaking himself down a little bit.
Kevin Durant with 11 points leads all scorers, and that's no surprise. Hedo Turkoglu with 8 points for Turkey. Rudy Gay from the corner. Ilyasova. And he's got Gordon behind him. I don't know if he realizes it. Pulls up his dribble. Ilyasova puts the ball on the ground, tries to go past Durant. Tough shot for him. Sinan Gouler comes in. One shot and out for Turkey.
Game and shot clock synchronized.
Well, end of an exciting first quarter here. The last 12 seconds.
Not going to shoot from there, surely, are you?
Well, he can hit it.
Durant.
He can hit it from anywhere. And he drives in, and foul called on Turkey. Was it Westbrook was in the shooting? So
1.1 second remaining, and the US on the line.
In fact, it looked like Durant got hit when he was driving as well by Simi Erden. So the two free throws and the long one from Arslan, no good. So the momentum with Team USA after a frantic first quarter, which almost saw the teams come to blows. Team USA lead it 22-17 over the host, Turkey.
That's the word, I think, Jeff, frantic. And the thing is that Turkey are still hanging on in there. At this stage of the game in the semi-final, I think it was a dominant USA over Lithuania, but Turkey, okay, they trail, but only by 5. USA 11 rebounds to 7, yet to miss from the foul line. Turkey 5 from 6. The Americans 4 from 10 from the arc, as opposed to Turkey's 2 from 5.
Well, everybody's tired. I'm tired. You're tired. The players are tired. The fans are tired. You know what it is right now? It's adrenaline. The adrenaline is keeping you going. I mean, this atmosphere is crazy.
15,000 fans here in Istanbul. One thing that does surprise me, though, about this Turkish team, they drew an early foul against Kevin Durant, and he's on 11 points. And after that, they didn't go at him. Ilyasova, well, he was designated the man to try and stop Kevin Durant. He drew that early foul, but nothing since. If they could get Kevin Durant on 3 fouls before half-time, well, different game. But at the moment, it's only 1 foul.
Well, Eric Gordon's done it with his D. He misses that one. Curry snuck in there to get in position for the rebound. So Turkey need to do a little bit better job on the boards. How long will Turkoglu stay out of the game?
If he stays that much longer, the game may have got away from Turkey.
Curry's pass almost stolen by Sinan Gouler. Russell Westbrook soars in and scores and has a chance for a 3-point play.
Number 8, first personal foul, being Japan team's first.
Well, tough call against Ilyasova in that one, I think. Great drive, though, by Westbrook.
So 3 points at the beginning of this second period from the US. Still no Turkoglu for Turkey.
Semi Erden. Big body in there. Rudy Gay guarding him. Ender Arslan drives into the lane, is fouled by Stephen Curry. 2 shots coming, 2 free throws for Arslan.
Again, referee's doing a superb job here. We've already had almost a fight. On almost every action, there's somebody in one of the officials' ear, and they're responding in the positive. No technicals yet. Not even a warning.
Turkey 5 of 7 now at the line with Arslan's miss, and 5 of 8.
Lane violation against Turkey.
So missed opportunities. Momentum definitely with the Americans right now. Westbrook brings it up the court, guarded by Ender Arslan. Eric Gordon now. Rudy Gay travels. Here's another look at that.
Yeah, just release the ball, having taken 2 steps. Can't take 2 steps while he's standing still.
Simi Erden over to Arslan, to a cutting Ilyasova. Steph Curry guarding it. A little bit of a mismatch there.
Turkey need Ilyasova to come to the party. Couple of threes from him, it's a different game.
Up Durant into the corner to Gordon. Rudy Gay on the baseline. Goodness gracious, he was behind the backboard on that. Great shot from Rudy Gay. And also showing his versatility by guarding the big center of Turkey, Semi Erden. Yep, they switch now. He's on Arslan.
Turkey have got to look for the mismatch inside.
6 on the shot clock. Arslan whips it over to Gondlin. And good hands again from Russell Westbrook. And the Americans snuff out that Turkish offense.
Again, a shot clock violation. 3rd time that Turkey have failed to beat the 24-second clock.
I like seeing the Syracuse coach, Jim Boeheim, giving the former UConn players some instructions over there. I'm sure Rudy likes that.
A true gentleman of the game, Jim.
Chauncey Billups now checks in. Turkoglu getting ready to come back in for Turkey. Billups for 3. Oh, and Westbrook came flying in. He's a high flyer, Russell Westbrook. Eight-point game. And the reach and the steal.
Out of bounds.
And out of bounds. Iguodala was going to jam that one.
Cherry and Turkoglu back in, replacing Ilyasova and Arslan.
Well, they need Turkoglu on the floor. As you see, Rudy Gay only just putting his foot on the out-of-bounds line. And Asik, of course, the free throw liability for Turkey. But if they could get the ball to him and he could do some damage, he's shielding off Iguodala. There is a mismatch there. He's going to come up and set the pick for Turkoglu. Over to Tuntry. That's a long 3 for him. And that's a tough shot that they're taking. You'd think that they could get a little bit better shot than that. But that American defense is extremely tough right now. Billups passes up the 3 over to Westbrook. Turkey in the zone. Durant left open. Well, that's a reprieve if I've ever seen one. 8-point USA lead. Tuntry drives in and gets blocked and fouled by Rudy Gay. And Sinan Gouler has a word with Rudy Gay.
Well, it wasn't actually that hard a foul, but Tuncheri landed awkwardly. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, it was.
On the arm.
No, it was on the face in a big way. Watch this. Bam.
And Tunçuri landed on his backside, I think, which hurts.
And Onan not happy about that one. And Turkey quite rightly upset. So we've got a timeout. And I think if that was shown on the overhead board, you would see an incensed crowd.
And 4 Turkish players have asked the referee if that was unsportsmanlike. And he's just turned away and said, forget it.
That's the hero right there. Tunçuri last night hit a big three-pointer to give Turkey the lead, their first lead in a very long time, late in the fourth quarter, and then scored the go-ahead bucket with 0.5 seconds left to put them into the final of the FIBA World Championship.
An incident that was described as the luckiest fumble in World Championship history.
So the United States dominating the boards. And here's a look at some of their plays.
Big day for Turkey. They've had a referendum today, and they've got a World Championship final tonight.
Tunçuri makes the first one. Well, it's supposed to be a non-contact sport, basketball, but the 31-year-old guard feeling the forearm of Rudy Gay, who has come out of the game. Lamar Odom back in now.
Jeff, that non-contact business is a myth. Complete and utter myth.
And Tunçuri, the Turkish defense now get a turnover. Over to Tunçuri. He pulls it back out into the corner to Sinan Güler, who penetrates and puts up a very difficult shot. And the Americans now come away with it. And a foul called on Sinan Güler. The Americans got back well after the turnover.
Well, I have to say, this is exactly what Lithuania faced as well. If you get a layup, you've got to expect an American to come flying past you, trying to block it. That's 3 layups that Turkey have now squandered, and they trail by 6. Draw the foul, Turkey.
Durant from the corner, no good. Odom coming over the back, picks up the foul. Well, Odom's Los Angeles Lakers teammates here. Pau Gasol, he gave him a big hug before the game. I don't know if that means he's pulling for the USA or not. Turkoglu had position, and Durant has missed a couple of shots here. That's almost worth a news flash. Iguodala guarding Turkoglu. And now Odom on Turkoglu. And Turkoglu misses, and Ghanem chases down the rebound, gets it over to Güler, inside to Asik, and Iguodala was holding Asik.
And end line ball, and that puts the US in the penalty now. Well, Coach Krzyzewski just asked how many fouls that was on Iguodala. A 1 finger went up, but it's definitely 2 fouls, Iguodala.
Yep, he's got 2 fouls, 14 fouls. Ghanem, great pass inside, and blocked. And Iguodala, the defense by Iguodala forces Asik into a travel.
That was blocked. Did he land with the ball in his hands? If he did, then that's a good call.
Yep, I think he did.
Yeah, and the good thing there is the blocking player took his hands off the ball.
Odom finds Durant on the baseline, who drives in and is hit by Asik.
Well, 14,500 fans put both hands up in the air, ref. This is what they did, but that's a blocking foul.
Yeah, he stepped in too late. 2 fouls on Asik, and now Durant is down. I hope he's okay.
He's probably just had the wind knocked out of him.
Definitely a solid hit. And Asic has come out of the game.
Kevin Durant looks a little shaken.
Shaken but not stirred.
Well, it's been called a shooting foul.
I'm sure he's been hit a lot harder than that in the NBA. Durant said, we're used to playing in, all of us have played in environments like this. You know, we played in the playoffs. And no evidence of the hard hit on that free throw release. The American fans.
How did you know that? Was it the hat or the chewing?
It was both, actually. Goodness gracious. Another news flash. Durant missed a free throw. Anyway, 7 points, the American lead.
Yeah, and the Turkish coaches wanted a foul on Iguodala there for reaching in.
Ogu Sabat's is coming in. Country off to Simi Erden, he wasn't ready.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. Killing Turkey at the moment.
8 turnovers for Turkey. Gonlem comes out, Ogu Sabas in. It's a big front line now for Turkey with Sabas in there, manning the middle. Iguodala over to Phillips. Kevin Durant for 3. Good.
Well, he had a couple of blips and then recovered from the corner, and it's back to a 10-point game now.
Derrick Rose guarding Tunturi. Ogu Sabas, very big man. It's a lot for Iguodala to handle. And long 3 from Tunturi, no good. And Sabas keeps it alive, and good job by Iguodala to keep it alive, and it goes out of bounds off Goulier, though most of these Turkish fans not agreeing with that one.
I think what Tanyevis is saying there, give us a break, ref.
Derrick Rose into the lane.
Turkey now in the penalty.
Well, to be honest, Tanyevis will know LaMonica from his days coaching in Italy, being the coach of Italy and coaching in Italy. But normally Tanyevis doesn't lose it unless he thinks he's really been wrong. Phillips for 3, rims out, and Turkoglu with the board, quickly up to Tunturi. Savas, bounce pass, and another turnover. 9 now. Into the corner for Derrick Rose, who pops, misses, and Odom gets the board. Odom comes right back, finds Iguodala. Cross court to Phillips. Kevin Durant over to Iguodala for 3, and he misses. I think Turkey will be happy if he takes that shot.
American defense, great example for young kids. Get your hands in the passing lane.
Turkoglu, tough shot for him, and he makes it a 3-pointer. And the lead now back to 7 for the United States. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Well, the United States have had some chances to add to their lead. Bounce pass, Iguodala over to Kevin Durant. He doesn't miss. 3-pointer.
He's on the sideline there. The referee actually has to look down at his feet to see whether he's out of bounds.
Well, he just doesn't miss, and that's the one player you just simply cannot leave open. Back to 10. There has been a lot of talk about Kevin Durant at Istanbul. He has owned it. And the follow by Simi Erden.
Well, the NBA coaches, the NCAA coaches on the American bench are asking for offensive interference there.
Well, Durant quickly goes to the other end and scores.
Different code of rules.
Ogu Savas up top. He's going to battle with Phillips, and it goes to Simi Erden for the dunk. Now watch quickly the Americans getting up court, and the foul from Sinan Gouler to try to stop the fast break.
And Goulet saying, what else could I do, coach? Coach doesn't want to know.
Two fouls on Sinan Gouler. Omer Anand comes back in. He's got 2 fouls.
Well, the thing is, they're both right. The coach is right to say don't foul there, but Goulet is saying, well, he was going to get a layup, wasn't he?
Yeah. That's how quick they get into it. The transition.
Eric Gordon's just gone out with fresh instructions for the Americans.
Probably keep the pressure up. Boys, Chauncey Billups. Terrific. Westbrook.
Yeah, keep the ball out of a guard's hands.
Well, Semi Erden showing his ball handling skills. Maybe he's thinking about going all the way.
Oh!
Well,
backcourt.
Well, they're saying that an American hit it.
Which I think he did. Referees looking at each other, and there's an apology saying there was a deflection.
Clearly, LaMonica not the fan favorite here in Istanbul.
And Coach Chizevsky agrees with the official. There was a big deflection.
Yep, 10 seconds though on the shot clock.
Has Toncheri recognized that?
Yeah, I think he has. 5 seconds on the shot clock, and it goes to Ogu Savas.
Who's fouled?
And he's fouled. He was trying to make the pass to Ilyasova. So Ogu Savas now is going to have to make some free throws.
Go on the line, Ogu Savas described as a dying breed of back-to-the-hoop centers.
And he's only a 45% shooter at this World Championship. At the line, but he makes that one. Didn't look too bad on it. Yeah, they looked good on that one as well, but it stayed out. So it's a 9-point American lead. 2 minutes to go now in the first half. See if the Americans can land a knockout punch here right at the end. Gordon for 3. Well, the American shooters are not knocking them down. It is their defense which is really keeping them in front right now. Savas. And tries, I don't know, well, he's going to shoot free throws regardless. I don't know if they were going to give him a shooting foul.
Foul, Chauncey Billups just slapped his man.
Ogu Savas. He'll be the only big man not going over because Semi Erden will go to the NBA to play for Boston next year. Makes that one. So now it's 8 points.
Turkey should be aiming to go into the locker room at halftime in 1 minute 44 seconds. Leading or trailing by single figures, and at the moment it's 7.
Well, maybe even more. Kevin Durant, Eric Gordon, leaves his feet, gets to Durant. Gordon, Billups, over to Gordon for 3, and Eric Gordon still can't get it to go. His defense is there, but his shot isn't right now.
Eric Gordon caught it and just had to readjust momentarily.
And it goes, and Ogu Savas lost control as he went up. Good pass from Toncheri. Billups for 3. Gosh. And the ball missed so badly that Turkey didn't rebound it, and now the lead has gone back to 9 with a minute remaining. So 4-point swing there. Looked like Turkey had a layup.
4th layup Turkey have missed, and every time they miss one, the Americans capitalize.
And good strong move from Savas, but Rudy Gay did also a good job defensively. Durant for 3. Now, open court. See if Turkey can get something. Omer Anand for three. Nope, short. Ilyasova with the rebound, but instead of going right back up, he finally does and draws the foul. Good minutes from Ogo Savaz. He comes out. Mike Krzyzewski going to call a timeout. Here's another look at the foul on the United States. Looked like maybe Rudy Gay would have gotten it more than Eric Gordon, but 24.8 seconds remaining here in the first half. The United States leading it 40-31 over Turkey in the gold medal game of the FIBA World Championship.
Well, no one in foul trouble yet. Looking up at the scoreboard, there are 3 players from each team on 2 fouls. And the 63-year-old Bojan Tanjevic working overtime. Look at that, second chance points, 12-2 in favor of the United States.
Well, the United States only have 5 points off turnovers. They're not shooting the ball as well tonight as they usually do. 6 of 22 from three-point range for the United States. I haven't seen that the entire tournament, and I've seen all of their games. Chauncey Billups 0 of 4 from three-point range. Eric Gordon 0 for 4. Kevin Durant 5 of 9 from three-point range, as you can see, and 20 points. Where would they be at this FIBA World Championship had Kevin Durant not traveled to Istanbul? Short. You can see that was short from here.
He just leant back away from the shot.
Just seems Ilyasova has lost his confidence in the last 2 games.
Lost his mask? Lost his confidence.
Yep. Maybe he should put his mask back on. 8 points. Now USA can hold it for 1 shot.
Krzyzewski says, spread the floor.
Well, are they going to get it to Westbrook, let him drive in? Are they looking for Durant? 6 on the shot clock. It's going to be Westbrook. And the foul called on Simi Erden.
Well, let's have a look at that again. It was a slip. Here we go. Slipped.
I think he had already slipped before Simi Erden got his hand on him, but he didn't actually really affect him that much.
4.5 seconds remaining. And Coach K wants to get Andre Iguodala back in. Timeout.
Yep, timeout Turkey, because they're going to draw up their last play as well. And Tanjevic is incensed with the Italian referee.
Well, Turkey know all about 4.5-second plays. They had one last night. I wonder what they can get out of 4.5 seconds in the final.
USA not getting to the line quite as much as Turkey, but as we saw last night, free throws were a problem for Turkey, and they continue to be under 70%. You want to be hitting 70% at least. Well, Roy, I don't know about you, but I've got a plane that leaves in about 8 hours. I'm not sure I'm going to be sleeping much tonight.
Mine's an hour after yours. Didn't sleep last night, actually. Too much.
No, I didn't either.
Thinking about 4.5 seconds.
Well, that's what's on the clock right now, 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, I must confess, as a former coach, I went through about 100 different options that Serbia may have taken.
Well, you should submit those suggestions to the Serbian Federation, and perhaps they'll appoint you as their coach of their under-12 team. Russell Westbrook makes the first. And you talked about wanting to keep it in single digits. If he makes this one, it's up to 10, double digits. The inbounds comes to Karam Country. And knocked away by Eric Gordon. That's it. So the first half kind of peters out right at the end there for Turkey. The United States haven't shot the ball well, yet they still have 42 points. And much of that is because, well, you know what his name is. He's got 20. It's the gold medal game of the FIBA World Championship. The Americans in control right now by 10.
It's not a big lead, but it's a double-digit lead. The Americans have won both periods by 5 points, which totals 10 points at halftime. Turkey, 10 turnovers. That's the killer stat.
Great men and women receive the most prestigious honor that exists in international basketball. In an official enshrinement ceremony, they have
Inevitably, Kevin Durant, top scorer in the game with 20 points. Turkoglu, pretty close to a double-double, 11 points, 7 rebounds. And he spent much of the first period on the bench as well.
coaches, referees, and contributors.
Well, the only two players in double figures, Turkoglu and Durant.
Here in Istanbul. Coming onto the board now with me is the president of FIBA, Mr. Bob Ellington, and the incoming president of FIBA, Mr. Ivan Mayni. Thank you for
Well, only 3 successes from behind the arc for Turkey.
A translation, I believe.
But really, it's their turnovers.
Then it went to the 8 finals, quarterfinals, semifinals. Now the final, Turkey against the United States. And the United States, with none of the players from the Olympic team in this squad, in relatively short preparation time, have put together quite a team. They're playing defense, and they're leading Turkey, who've been building up to this for several years. Turkoglu drives in, had a great shot, and he missed it. And the USA look to run. Derrick Rose. And gets blocked, but the Americans get it back. Odom over to Iguodala. Odom, 7 on the shot clock. Now, Derrick Rose looks up at the shot clock, penetrates, pulls up for the J, no good. And Odom knocks it back out, and they reset the shot clock. And a long one. Who was that went for the killer? It was Billups. Well, that would have really hurt if he'd hit that 3.
Turkey had 3 attempts at the defensive rebound there and finally came up with it. Be patient, Turkey.
Country over to Asik. 4 on the shot clock now. Don't be too patient. And Asik. And horrible possession for Turkey.
I make that 4 shot clock violations now against Turkey. Tanjevic's not amused.
I mean, it's not easy to get into your offense against this American team. Let's be honest. They are quick. Their arms are out. They're reading passes. The Brazilians, in all honesty, played the United States tougher than any other team. Derrick Rose over to Durant. Long 3. Good.
Kevin Durant just loves this game. Who wouldn't? Scoring 23 points in the first 21 minutes of the final.
Puncheri downside, down into Asik, who puts up the hook, and the follow by that Turkish front line, and the Americans come away with it. Durant for 3, and 6 straight points for the United States. And the American bench empties onto the court, and they have sent a message to Turkey. It isn't what the crowd wanted, but it's what they wanted across the pond. Kevin Durant's heating up.
Well, it's an old cliche, an often used phrase, but Kevin Durant is the ultimate scoring machine. Well, after this tournament, FIBA are going to extend the three-point arc, but that won't make any difference to Kevin Durant. Anywhere in the front court is good enough for him. Turkish heads down. Suddenly a 10-point lead has become 16. The professionalism of this American team is just awesome. Coach Jim Beheim there did not take part in that timeout. He just stood and watched to see what was coming out of the Turkish timeout. And now he just relays that information to Coach Krzyzewski.
Well, a long way to go. Don't write off Turkey yet. And Ilyasova puts up a three and misses badly.
It says that was fouled, ref, and it says no way.
Well, of all the players in the Turkish team that you would not expect to feel out of place out there in the court right now, Ilyasova just does not look comfortable. And he's played in the NBA for, coming off a great season with Milwaukee.
They're still trying to point out to the ref that his arm was hit on that last shot.
Oh, left wide open. Well, the USA had a chance to extend the lead even more. Derrick Rose called for the foul. I think the Americans smell blood right now.
Yeah, the bench was up celebrating that three, but he didn't go in. Crowd doing their best. Can the players respond?
Well, Arslan penetrates, gets it to Arslan. Nope, tries to get it to Asik, but unsuccessful. Now Billups has to hurry, gets it up quickly to Rose, and Rose with the chance, Odom with the board and the putback, and the United States now in total command. They're up by 18 and completely with a stranglehold on the game, not allowing Turkey to do anything on offense.
Well, in Japan it was 70-47 in the final. Spain overwhelming Greece, and this game has a feel of that now.
Yeah, the big difference being that this is on Turkey's home court. Arslan for three. Good. Well, back to 15.
The message there for Turkey: find the open man, don't force it.
And charge called on Derrick Rose. And
I think that'd be called a charge, even in the NBA. Rose looking at the bench apologetically.
Omer Anand, Asik, boy, hasn't really been involved in the last two games. Asik goes up against Odom and forces up a tough shot. And again, gosh, I think on this evidence, Asik's going to have a tough time this season in the NBA.
Coach Tanyevitz almost had his hands on the referee's throat then. Very, very close.
Omer Anand. Arslan, another three. And Iguodala quickly looks up over to Durant. He pulls up, hands it off to Derrick Rose, back outside to Billups, into the corner to Rose. Drives, finds Kevin Durant at the top. And what a rebound from Andre Iguodala. Oh my goodness gracious.
That is unbelievable athleticism from Iguodala, and he found the open man.
That was scary. 52-35. It's almost like the USA have been saving up a little bit extra for the final. Omer Anand drives in, fouled by Chauncey Billups. Mad at himself. Russell Westbrook checks in for Derrick Rose.
And still no player from either side with more than 2 fouls.
A 16-point game. Turkoglu not in the game right now for Turkey. So it's Gonlem, Simi Erden. Omer Anand makes both. Ender Arslan and Ilyasova. .5-point advantage. In it goes. And Iguodala has it stolen, and it goes off of Iguodala. He thought there was a foul. I'm trying to figure out which of the American players is the best athlete. And I think it could be Iguodala. Although Westbrook's pretty good as well.
Personally speaking, I think Stephen Curry's a pretty good athlete as well, the smallest man in the team.
Yeah. And Onan drives in and almost has a chance for a three-point play, but you can feel Onan and Arslan trying to bring Turkey back. I'm thinking in terms of sheer leaping, speed, strength, Iguodala's going to be tough to stop. Eric Gordon, Rudy Gay coming in. Iguodala comes out, as well as Chauncey Billups. No, Iguodala's going to stay in, and Lamar Odom comes out. And Iguodala says, "Why'd you tell me I was going out?" to his teammate. You can feel the pain of every missed free throw for Turkey's fans.
A collective groan goes around Istanbul.
Up 14-point game now. Iguodala goes right at Simi Erden. Hands back off to Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay tried to finger roll it in. Now Ilyasova finds to Kerem Gonlin. Maybe not who you want to have it on the fast break. Arslan for three. Good! Turkey's coming back! And the USA have stuck their chests out, and maybe, just maybe, they've been beating them a little bit too soon. Ender Arslan in Turkey. Arslan with the three.
Well, the timeout was called by Coach Krzyzewski. USA have gone into athleticism, almost showboat mode. And Turkey, they punished them back to within 11. So with 4 to go in the third period, not much damage has been done in this particular period. In 6 minutes, Turkey still in the game.
Well, 8 of 27 for three-point range, but none of that matters right now. It's about the Americans. They got on top of Turkey, and I think instead of delivering the knockout, they thought it was time to start entertaining. And that's exactly what Krzyzewski is telling them right now. Let's stick to the game plan. Don't forget, this is Turkey. I mean, Turkey are not as highly ranked as Spain, as Argentina, as who else is up there? Greece. You know, they're a little bit farther down in the rankings. So this is a new experience for them being in this situation. They did play the final in 2001, and Turkoglu was in that team.
Yeah, the only medal they've won, a silver medal at 2001. Nothing else on the global stage.
So in that respect, it is a true David and Goliath, and they turn it over. And Godlum, that's not how they draw it up, is it? Simi Erden drives to the basket.
Out of bounds.
And steps out of bounds. And LaMonica right on the call.
There's a little bit more belief on the Turkish bench than there was 5 minutes ago. Well, they forced the turnover then, but couldn't land a knockout punch on it.
I think this is where Westbrook's going to try to drive in and dunk it. Well, they've got fouls to give away. They don't want to give anything to Kevin Durant. I mean, he's just going to hit the open shots. 2 fouls now on Turkey. Westbrook trying to get loose. Rudy Gay, guarded by Simi Erden. Rudy Gay can hit the 3. Over to Iguodala. Rudy Gay right at the free throw line. Good. Omer Anan pops up. Eric Gordon on him. Arslan.
5.
And fouled by Rudy Gay.
Now Turkey, make your foul shots.
And all of this with Turkoglu on the bench watching. Free throw agony.
Frere's being offered.
Simi Erden bricks the second one as well. And Arslan Ilyasova gets on the floor, chases it. Westbrook now. And instead of allowing him to explode into the lane, Turkey reach in and commit the foul. That's 3 fouls now on Omer Onan.
And Turkey have 1 to give this period. 3:09 to go.
Russell Westbrook drives in, and the high flyer. Well, denied that time. Now Ilyasova. Ilyasova can't get on track.
He's always got someone in his face.
Westbrook for 3, good!
And there was no one in Westbrook's face then. That's the difference. Superb defense one end and passive defense at the other.
Back to 16-point advantage. And Omer Onan goes right past him. Ilyasova finally gets inside where he can do some damage. Good penetration from Omer Onan. Kevin Durant at the line. Good.
Well, he was almost wearing a Turkish defender then, but he still nailed the 2.
But Coach K jumped up off the bench, cheered on his team, and said, no fouls. Let's play defense now. Omer Onan for 3. And the rebound to Durant.
Tanjevic pleads for a foul.
Westbrook at the line. Ilyasova with the rebound. Arslan. Arslan feeds Erden, who goes up strong and draws the foul, I think, on Russell Westbrook. Well, gosh, if they can feed it to Airden, he does seem a legitimate threat in that low post.
Well, one defensive unit comes out for the States, replaced by one just as good. Derrick Rose, Chauncey Billups back in, as indeed is Russell Westbrook. Make your foul shots, Turkey. We want a close game.
Oh, he makes that one. Good test for Semi Airden. He's going to be playing against these guys next year, or hopefully he'll be getting some playing time with Boston. And the double, they leave Lamar Odom wide open.
Well, Turkey complaining that Gonlin was just wiped out there.
Odom comes out to help out. And Arslan drives in, tough and good rebound follow from Kerem Gonlin.
That's 30 seconds of the third period. It's still 13.
Yep, 7 seconds, the differential. So if Turkey maybe can get the ball back, see if the U.S. will hold it for one. Durant wants to go at it, and he is called.
Just lost the ball, bounced it on his foot, went out of bounds.
So maybe that's what they got to do. They got to put Semi Airden on him. Quickly, they don't have much time. 9 seconds. Ilyasova shoots an air ball, and he shot it too soon. Now, Derrick Rose for three. And almost punished for giving away that rebound. So it's a 13-point game. And Tanevich complaining they're not calling the fouls on the jump shooters, but right now it's a 13-point deficit. USA in control against Turkey at the FIBA World Championship.
Well, 15 from 23 from the line, and a lot of points going, begging there for Turkey. USA 10 from 11, winning the rebounds as well by 6. Too many turnovers, Turkey, 13-9.
One of the decisions by Turkey before this FIBA World Championship was to hire Rolando Blackman as an assistant coach. Longtime NBA star, was supposed to play for the United States until I think they boycotted an Olympics. But anyway, he's over here. And I just saw him slightly frustrated with some of the Turkish players at the end of the bench. I don't know if they weren't listening during the timeout, but he went over and had a word with them. Certainly be something to follow up with him after this.
Still no Turkoglu for Turkey. He must be hurt. Forlorn figure at the end of the bench.
And Derrick Rose's pass to Lamar Odom goes out of bounds.
Now Turkey sow the seeds of doubt in the minds of these young Americans. Get it to single figures.
Arslan, bounce pass to Semi-Aridin. And the jump hook, no good. The follow, no good. And eventually it's Westbrook who comes away with it, and up ahead to Derrick Rose for the two-handed dunk.
Again, the American defense making the Turkish shooter change his shot in the air, and that led to an American fast break.
Arslan puts up a long three, rims out, and Westbrook now in transition, and for the second straight time, Derrick Rose goes down unmolested for a layup. It's 17 points. Well, it's been a long time since the Americans have won a world title, 1994 to be precise. They're looking pretty good bets right now to end the drought. Semi-Aridin, three on the shot clock, and he puts it up and scores. Good patience from him. Semi-Aridin having some fun out there with Lamar Odom. 9 seconds now on the shot clock. USA is going to have to hurry one up here. Out it goes to Lamar Odom for three. Good.
Well, Derrick Rose looked back into his own half then for the shot clock. He couldn't see it in the front court and timed it to perfection.
I know Lamar Odom was kind of jawing a little bit with Semi-Aridin there. Omer 09. 5 on the shot clock. Behind the back, the foul on Chauncey Billups.
And at last, Turkoglu and Tuncheri can get in. They've been sitting on that subs chair for about a minute now. Chauncey Billups, 4 fouls.
Tough call on Chauncey as he picks up his 4th and goes to the bench.
Possibly the last throw of the dice for Coach Tanjevic. The two of his starters back in there, Tuncheri and Turkoglu.
Semi-Aridin.
Odin the foul.
Well, I have to say it's been a positive development with Semi-Aridin. He's actually gotten on Odom. He's irritated him to the point where he's going right at him.
3 fouls Odom. And straight away, Kevin Durant picks up Turkoglu.
Country, bounce pass, Gunlam.
The fear factor came in then.
It did, and just a weak shot from Gunlam. And up ahead to Odom and scores on the fast break.
3rd fast break in this period.
And the lead is now 20. And Turkey, desperate measures are required. What are they going to do?
Iguodala now on Turkoglu.
Yep, just a 2. 6.5 minutes. Turkey needs some stops. They need some turnovers. They need something. And Semi-Aridin fouls Derrick Rose, who's played extremely well here in the second half.
There was a fine line there between US scoring and Turkey getting the turnover. Just a little fingertip. Turkey just couldn't grab it. Frustration on the Turkish bench. Oh! Mistimed by Semi-Aridin.
Yes, it was.
But not by Iguodala.
Well, Roy, Bob's your uncle.
Yes, Gary?
They're making it look easy right now, the United States. Their defense is just suffocating. They've gotten inside the heads of the Turks, and really, Tuntry takes the three and hits it, but it just seems like there's not going to be any way back.
A rare offensive rebound there for Turkey. And a good pass from Turkoglu to Tuncheri.
Russell Westbrook now. Penetrates, hands off to Lamar Odom. And his pass is off the hands of Iguodala. USA making it a little bit harder that time than needed to be. Entry pass to Godwin. Back to 17.
Beautiful pass there from Tuncheri.
And Tuncheri thought he was going to get one from Derrick Rose. Lamar Odom stops and pops. These are professionals. They get paid a lot of money for what they do. And Lamar Odom, the NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers, you can't leave him open for a jump shot like that.
And Coach Krzyzewski just canceled a timeout. Just a little bit concerned. He just said, forget it. Oh, over the top. Great delay there from Semi Erden. Ready for the man to fly past him.
Russell Westbrook, third personal foul. Üçüncü faul, team's third. Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nin üçüncü takım faul. Timeout USA. Bola Amerika Birleşik Devletleri.
Timeout USA. 76-57. And it was pretty tricky, especially in the first quarter when things heated up.
Yeah, one time Turkey took the lead. But the Americans led by 5 at the end of the first period.
The faces of those fans says it all right now. Their team in need of another miracle. They got a miracle last night against Serbia.
But what Turkey did last night, as we've said, they hung around. Problem now is 19 points adrift is not hanging around with 4:35 to go. Six years of hard work. That's what Bojan Tanjevic has put in. And it looks very much as though he's going to end up with a silver medal. Double-double for Lamar Odom.
Well, not the finish that Ersan Ilyasova wanted.
Or Turkoglu for that matter. I just wonder whether that injury in the first period to Turkoglu took Turkey out of their stride a little bit.
Well, I've been surprised how they just haven't been able to function whatsoever against this USA defense. And the same goes for Lithuania. They just completely broke down. And, you know, when times get tough, if you turn to your defense, your rebounding, you're gonna win ball games. And the United States, even in those difficult moments against Lithuania, their defense never let up.
It's the speed with which the United States turned defense into offense. A hand here, a rebound there, a loose ball somewhere else, and suddenly there's a fast break on.
.420 to go. Rose over to Iguodala. Puts up a shot and draws the foul.
And very sporting there of Lamar Odom. Just taps the backside of Semi Erden.
Yeah.
Saying well played, good defense, but tough luck.
Well, Semi Erden had more good moments than bad tonight. But it's interesting that, got him right on the shoulder there. It's interesting that one of the questions that people had before the USA came over is by not bringing many low post players, were they going to be short of big men against some of these big, powerful European front lines? And quite frankly, they did struggle against Brazil with Thiago Splitter. Anderson Varejão didn't even play in that game. But overall, they've pretty much handled things.
Well, I think the answer to the question is that a very, very quick 3 or 4 man is the equal or probably better than the average 5 man. Nice pass.
Asic dunks it, 17 points. The deficit now. Durant, Iguodala.
Americans spread the floor again.
Westbrook for 3. Good. Back to a 20-point lead for the United States. Jerry Colangelo saying he expects half of this team and half of the 2008 team to go to the 2008 Olympics. Which players will he not take from this team? I mean, there's a lot of them that have been playing well tonight, certainly. Turkoglu for 3.
Well, that's what they've been missing. Spent about 12 minutes on the bench.
Haven't seen Kevin Love tonight. Maybe the first game he hasn't played at this FIBA World Championship. Haven't seen Danny Granger as well.
Sinangula back in. We've had that terrific game against France. Well, Kevin Durant just been allowed to organize his offense. Is it going to be a 3-pointer? Looking to the coach for instructions, not that he needs them.
So Lamar Odom, he wants to pick and get the isolation on Asic. And Durant bricks it. Country. Well, Asic has been watching Airden go at it. And he wants to try it now. And Iguodala telling Asic, no, not here, not now, not never. Asic's got a lot of work to do.
But the number 14 for Turkey, he's got the tools. 7 foot. Telescopic arms. Got to learn to shoot his foul shots.
Yep, Country drives, picks up the foul. The quick hands of the Americans continue to contest everything.
Fabulous crowd here in Istanbul.
17-point game.
They've not stopped cheering their team on for 38 minutes. And they're not going to stop now.
Turkoglu holds up his jersey, but Mike Krzyzewski's been a class act for the entire FIBA World Championship, and really so have his players. They're a good group of people that have come out and respected the United States well. There's no question about everybody wanted to beat the Americans, especially a young team that's just come together. But they've been unflappable. Oh, Westbrook goes behind his back, and in it goes to Iguodala.
What a move. Behind the back dribble. Throws the alley-oop pass. Thank you very much.
Godlin tries to bank it in. You need that, you know, the type of player that Spain has, like a Pau Gasol, somebody who is of a real superstar quality, I think, that can do special things, that really kind of does plant the seed of doubt into the American team. Don't forget the American team that played at the Olympics was really challenged by Spain in that gold medal game. And that team had Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, whatever. But this USA team has almost gone through this unchallenged in many respects, with the exception of Brazil. Turkoglu comes out, Contrary comes out.
Wholesale changes for the Americans as well.
I think we know who the MVP is going to be.
Yeah, and he's still on the court. They can't get him off. By the way, Kevin, you've just been subbed.
Nope, I think they're going to let him out and then maybe come out to a standing ovation, possibly. I don't know.
Sideline ball, the Americans.
Well, who do you think's leading the scoring tonight?
Could it be a man called Kevin?
Absolutely, and it's not Love. 28 points for Kevin Durant. Danny Granger from the corner, no good, and nice to see Kevin Love get a rebound. That's what he's been doing the entire tournament. And the bounce pass up ahead, too low for even Simon Goulart to pull up.
And now the man comes out, Kevin Durant.
Well, he gives Mike Krzyzewski a big hug, and everybody else, Jay Triano, Chauncey Billups, Andre Iguodala, everybody, Rudy Gay, Nate McMillan. Nate McMillan would like to have Kevin Durant on his team, no doubt, but they took a big fella. Maybe we'll see Greg Oden in this USA team at some point. And Steph Curry goes in. Ball goes out of bounds.
Reset on the shot clock, so this could be the last offense of the 2010 World Championships.
Kevin Love pops out. Eric Gordon now, the USA going to run their offense. They're going to attack it, or they're just going to hold it. The party's on. Back in Colorado Springs, all across the United States. They've taken some hits in international basketball over the years, but now with the Olympic gold medal, and now with the World Championship, the FIBA World Championship, the United States will be the #1 team in the FIBA World Rankings. And once again, they are the #1 team overall, without question. The USA are the team to beat.
Well, a man whose surname begins with D will get all the plaudits, but the other D from the Americans is the main reason why they've won the 2010 World Championships, and that D is defense. They have been awesome.
Tyson Chandler and Hedo Turkoglu exchanging pleasantries after their little fisticuffs. And the families of the Americans looking out. 17 points, the win. It was a convincing win. Turkey just could not do anything when they had the ball. The opposing front line against so many teams here, the Turks were not imposing against this team that was built by Jerry Colangelo, Mike Krzyzewski. And the one lesson that we can all learn from this is, obviously athleticism hurts, but if you can play defense, you can beat anybody.
Yeah, the Turks very sporting in saluting their conquering opponents, also saluting this wonderful array of fans. And those fans have not stopped saluting both teams, really, since the opening tap. Well, personally speaking, Jeff, I think Turkey have put themselves on the map in the area of organisation. This has been a fabulous tournament. 4 venues for the group stage, a terrific arena for the final stages, and 15,000 fans packed this arena and made it an incredible spectacle.
Well, in 4 years' time, it's going to be in Spain. That's just fine with me. Nice weather, good venues, huge basketball fan loving population. And the game leaders, Turkoglu 16 points for Turkey. Durant had those 28 points. And not surprising, Odom with 11 rebounds. Ilyasova, quiet offensively, but did have 11 boards.
Well, the world's press assemble for the medal ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony will commence in approximately.
Well, I hope it's a big podium because half the arena won't be able to see what's happening. There, the American shot chart, scoring from just about every area of the court, of the half court rather. Turkey, not so hot from the perimeter. And the eventual score, a 17-point win for the Americans.
Well, we're preparing for the closing ceremony here inside the Sinan Erdem Dome. Well, the President of the Republic of Turkey there, as well as FIBA Secretary General Patrick Baumann and FIBA President Ivan Manini, the Turkish Prime Minister, as well Tayyip Erdogan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2010 FIBA World Championship.
So we're going to have the All-Star 5 and MVP awards presented. As They'll be coming up shortly here. Just as a reminder, the United States has beaten Turkey 81-64 in the gold medal game. There's the Prime Minister of Turkey. Prime Minister Erdogan. And Turkey's national team will walk out first as they go to their place on the podium where they will receive the silver medal. I know that in the build-up to this event, there was a lot of talk about, well, how good could this Turkey team be? And their aim was to improve on their 6th place finish at the FIBA World Championship 4 years ago. And they've done that. They've gotten all the way to the final. It could have been that it was just trying to keep expectations low. Now the United States, they're going to take their place at the behind the top podium. They're not actually going to get on the podium yet. Now, wasn't it worth coming all this way to watch the United States play at the FIBA World Championship? Bogdan Tanjevich, the coach, and then the Lithuanians. You think they're happy to be leaving this place with a bronze medal? They beat Serbia earlier today, soundly. And they will receive the bronze. They're led by their captain, Robertas Javtokas. And the Lithuanians are all wearing their flags. The Turks all wearing their flags. The United States wearing their USA basketball outfits.
Ladies and gentlemen, the All-Star 5 Awards will be presented by Mr. Francois Diabou, the President of TISO, and Mr. Faruk Nafiz Özak, the Minister of State in charge of sports.
Well, you can see the players for both teams starting to jump around. They're getting giddy with the prospects of the medals. So Mr. Francois Thibault, the president of Tissot, watches. Also Faruk Nafiz Özak, the Minister of State in charge of sports.
From Serbia, Milos Teodosic.
So Milos Teodosic has made the All-Star 5 here.
Turkey,
Tito Turkoglu has also been named. I haven't seen Milos Teodosic yet.
From the United States of America, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. He's made the All-Star 5.
From Lithuania,
Linas Kleiza has made the All-Star 5.
From Argentina, Luis Scola.
And Luis Scola has also made the All-Star 5. So that's a pretty good 5. I don't see Mr. Scola here, and I don't see Mr. Teodosic. So we'll just take it with Turkoglu, Durant, and Kleiza. Maybe they can run over to the hotel and deliver the other Tissot watches.
The awards of Luis Scola and Milos Teodosic will be presented afterwards as they are not present here at the ceremony. The championship.
I always find this kind of strange. It almost seems like the silver medal winners are always less happy than the bronze medal winners. And that's because the bronze medal winners have won today, whereas the silver medal winners, well, they had a chance to win gold, and they've lost.
The 2010 FIBA World Championship most valuable player is...
Oh, Lithuanians always happy. Whenever they play basketball, there's always a smile on their face.
From the United States of America, Kevin Durant.
Well, no surprise there. Kevin Durant, the MVP of the 2010 FIBA World Championship. Slaps high fives with his coach, Mike Krzyzewski, with some of his teammates. And he comes out again. And the one thing that all of the U.S. coaches and players say is that Kevin Durant is a better person than he is a player. Well, he must be an awesome person. That's all I've got to say.
Well, no one solved the problem of how do you stop Kevin Durant. Perhaps they appreciate it. The answer to that question is you don't.
Waiting for our presenters, ladies and gentlemen. And the awarding gold medals.
Now the awarding of the bronze medals will be by Mr. Ivan Menini, the FIBA president-elect, and Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Turkey. And look at that. Boy, they practiced. They had some time to practice getting up on the podium. See if the Americans can do something. They must have figured something out. How good must it feel for all of these Lithuanians to know that in their basketball career, they've played at a FIBA World Championship and taken home a medal. And the boos, I can tell you, are not for Ivan Menini, the FIBA president-elect. He is accompanied by the Prime Minister of the Republic of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan.
Yeah, and you've got to remember that these Lithuanians didn't know they were coming until they were given the wild card. But they certainly know they'll be in Lithuania for Eurobasket 2011. Coach Kemzura done a great job having taken over last year.
Yes, he has. I love the play of the next one coming up. Martinez Pocius, but Kalnietis and Sabonis there in your screen. Jeftikas, you feel really happy for him.
Great captain of Lithuania, Robertas Jeftikas.
And Linus Kleza, Simas Yasitis in your screen as well, well-deserving. I say give all those fans a bronze medal because they're just as big a part of it. Jankunas really emerged as a key player for Lithuania this summer. That was great to see. And really the difference maker, Kęstutis Kemzura, got his players to believe, got the commitment from them, and it was a great team to watch. Just one defeat coming to the United States in the bronze medal game, or in the semifinal.
Yeah, Argentina must have thought, what on earth hit us? When they played Lithuania, they were totally swept off the floor.
And now Turkey will receive their bronze medals. They have their silver medal, excuse me. They have gotten up onto the podium. Ender Arslan made things interesting with his three-point shooting. Patrick Baumann, the FIBA Secretary General and ISA member, as well as Mehmet Ali Sahin, the Speaker of the Grand National Assembly of the Republic of Turkey, will be handing out those medals.
Well, the Turkish Federation have done a brilliant job in marketing this exercise. All these faces are now national heroes in Turkey.
Sinan Fuller. Omer Anand, starting guard. Kirsten Ilyasova had a great tournament until the last couple of games. Simi Erden, well, he certainly had his moments tonight.
Since you remember, his dunk took Turkey to the lead against Serbia last night, late in the game.
Omer Asik had more good moments than bad, but he did struggle a little bit. I think he knows that he was almost slightly overmatched tonight. Oguz Shabazz, Ender Arslan.
And the end of a 6-year project. For Bojan Tanjevic. Listen to the crowd. They love him.
They do. He obviously had the serious health problem early this year that knocked him out of coaching for a few months, but he came back for the FIBA World Championship and finished the job. And I say did quite a good job by getting this team to silver.
add one more of Turkey.
The winner of the gold medal for the 2010 FIBA World
Well, now the gold medalists, the Team USA, the United States. A young team, a new team, and they have come and they have done the business. They are taking home the gold, and it's the first time that's happened in a long time, since 1994. And the Turkish president, Abdullah Gül, as well as the FIBA president, Bob Elphinson, the outgoing FIBA president.
Well, we had Dream Team 1, 2, 3, I think 4 as well. We had the Redeem team. Apparently this team has not been given a name, but they are a great team.
Well, I think some people called them the B team. They made a mockery of that moniker. This B team, I think, would have beat the A team, if that's the case. Any team with Kevin Durant would have been awfully difficult to beat. Derrick Rose, Chauncey Billups is the captain. Russell Westbrook, boy, did he become a big factor here in Istanbul once we got to the knockout stages. Rudy Gay, he was big in Group B play. Andre Iguodala, really maybe the main defensive force in that starting lineup.
He sparked the defense off. Aggressive all over the floor.
Danny Granger, Steph Curry coming up next. How his life is really going fast, but Iguodala fighting the goal. Eric Gordon, well, I was really impressed with him. I mean, I thought he was more of a shooter, but really he's a great defensive player. And as well, Kevin Love, would not be surprised to see him in the Olympic team.
What a trophy cabinet this man has.
Lamar Odom, yep, it was worth playing for Team USA again. He played in 2004 at the Olympics. And Tyson Chandler making the most of the opportunity and doing a fantastic job. And Mike Krzyzewski, who has always had good things to say about all of these teams that he's come into contact with, and has also said, whenever anybody needs Team USA and needs help, we're here for you. So an Olympic gold medal for Mike Krzyzewski and Team USA, and now a gold medal here in Istanbul. Gold in Beijing, gold in Istanbul.
And Chauncey Billups is going to get his hands on that trophy.
Somebody's got to tell him. They said, where's the captain? Well, the World Championship trophy handed off to Chauncey Billups and the veteran Lamar Odom. See, the Americans were not used to this. The Naismith Trophy, they can hoist it high if they want. And now they're going to show the team. And this ceremony gets better and better. Not going to be much sleeping tonight at the USA Hotel. Well, that's quite a sight. The Sinan Erdem Dome. The FIBA World Championship is coming to an end. The Americans, the gold medal winners, those boos are not for the Americans, by the way. Those boos are for the politicians, I'm afraid. And as the gold medal winners, we're going to hear the national anthem from the United States, the Star-Spangled Banner.
13 very proud Americans.
What's next?
Well, a little bit of strife in the audience there. It wasn't about the Americans. It was about something else here. And somebody's going to be escorted away. And Bob Elphinstone now, I believe, is going to deliver a speech. And tour guide Demerel as well. Both of these men having done a lot of work over the years to make sure this event came off without any hitches. This is Bob Elphinstone, the FIBA president. Pepe Sáez, the Spanish Basketball Federation president, who will be hosting the next FIBA World Championship.
Friends of basketball, what a fantastic 16th World Championship. Turkey, you have been outstanding hosts. Thank you. FIBA congratulates and thanks the 24 competing national federations, the FIBA referees, commissioners and staff, the local organising committees and the volunteers. Wonderful job by the volunteers. We thank our global partners and the national sponsors. In particular, I want to thank the Turkish government, the city governments in the 5 cities of Kayseri, Izmir, Ankara, Istanbul, and particularly the Mayor of Istanbul. You now have this magnificent arena for basketball in the future. FIBA congratulates the Turkish Basketball Federation, its president, Turgay Demirel, for the excellent job that you have done. Finally, but most importantly, congratulations to USA, FIBA World Champions, and the first team to qualify for the London 2012 Olympic Games. On behalf of FIBA, I now formally close the 16th World Championship, and I invite President Demirel of the Turkish Basketball Federation to hand over the FIBA flag to the Spanish Basketball Federation President Jose Luis Sáez.
So the handover now from tour guide Demirel to Pepe Luis Sáez. Jose Luis Sáez, and now the pressure's on for Spain. It's been quite a show here in Turkey. We're glad everybody's been able to take part in this and watch these thrilling games, whether it's been in person or on television or online. It's been worth it, we think. It's been an exciting time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. The FIBA World Championship. Bob, closing thoughts?
Or even
Bob,
Roy.
Again, Bob. Why do I keep calling you Bob?
Jeff, I've just had an absolutely wonderful time in Turkey here. Thanks to the Turkish Federation, thanks to FIBA, and thanks to you for helping me. We've had a great time.
Well, the insight has been welcome. Thanks very much, everybody. The FIBA World Championship is now over. The United States are now the kings of the world, the gold medal winners, the first time since 1994.
To conclude the ceremony of the 2010 championship, we invite the medal-winning teams to have their photos taken by our friends from the media. We sincerely thank you for your support and participation in the 2010 FIBA World Championship. This concludes our ceremony. We bid you a safe and friendly farewell from Turkey. See you in Spain. Sevgili basketbol severler, bu kadar emeği sona ermiştir. Türkiye'den, tüm dünyaya